trying to keep the flow of just horror movies, like authentic horror movies that, are meant to scare people and whatnot. But, I really wanted to watch this, and I was really happy that I did. I'm a huge Marlon Wayans fan, and the fact that he just came out with another film, and it's Halloween related. Halloween could be about fun too. So let's talk about The Curse of Bridge Hollow, which just released maybe a week or so ago as a Netflix original film. It follows this science teacher played by Marlon Wayans, who has a daughter played by Priya Priya Ferguson. I don't know why Ferguson was hard for me to say just there, but you might know her from playing the little sister in Stranger Things. And Kelly Rowland as the wife, oddly enough, which I thought was fantastic to see her again. I was like, oh, all right, Kelly Rowland's in this. And they play this family who's moving out of Brooklyn, and they move to like this little town in like upstate New York, or actually with the accent that they had in the film, I'm gonna say it might be Boston. So some small town somewhere in like New England area, maybe it's actually further south than north. I don't think they actually say what the town is, but they do have like very much Boston accents. You know what I'm saying? So they're moving out there, and they're really excited because they're moving into a little Halloween town, which it's a town that takes holidays seriously. Everybody decorates, everybody cares. It matters to them. Showing off a little bit, but Marlon Wayne plays the father who doesn't really care, especially coming from a person who actually, understands the Brooklyn lifestyle. The most you sometimes get is you get to put, a pumpkin face on your window because you live in an apartment building. You don't really have space on the ground. You don't really have a yard. Like, if you have a yard and you live in Brooklyn, you're kind of one of the luckier people. Most people live in complexes or multiple family housing that you don't get a lot of space to do a lot of decoration, and you can't really go onto somebody else's property, so you just kind of lose care about it. So he's going into this town, and he's like, we don't care. But the daughter's like, I'm happy here. I want to be happy. I want to explore and enjoy Halloween and understand what that experience is. Now, what she learns after, kind of exploring the town and meeting, of course, three kids who are part of this ghost community, there's a lot of typical family horror movie tropes. The first three friends she makes, they all believe in ghosts. They tell her the house she lives was originally owned by this witch, and your house might be haunted. Here's how you figure it out. And so the first night after she's told that, she pulls out her tablet and she gets the Ouija board open on the tablet, which, why? I don't know why digital Ouija is what we're doing now, but okay. So she gets digital Ouija out, and then the spirit leads her to the attic where she discovers a chest, and in the chest is the pumpkin head. And the pumpkin head is the head of, or the conduit of this all-powerful being called Stingy Jack, who really wanted to make it where Halloween was every day. And then you learn that the witch who owned the house originally, she put him back into like his set, like a cell, almost like a demonic cell, so he wouldn't like take over the world and make every day Halloween with his powers. And so the only way that he comes back to life is if you light the lantern, and what happens? They light the lantern. So we all know where the story's going. And again, this isn't meant to, win an award. This is meant to just be fun. So you have fun watching it. You have fun them being a family and discovering how they're going to help each other. You have fun watching Marlon Wayans be who Marlon Wayans is in a comedy like this. And of course they save the day. They eventually, figure it all out. They find a way how to bind the spirit again and trap him again. So they save the day. But it's just a fun journey. It is a fun family Halloween movie to watch with kids because they all can't watch, scary films like Friday the 13th and stuff like that. So it is nice to have films like this that is just family orientated. And it's got a lot of people in it too. It's got Rob Riggle. He plays one of the neighbors who's really funny. It's got Lauren Lampkis, who's the mayor of the town, and people might know her from like Orange is the New Black, and she's done a bunch of movies, basically like roles like what this is, side character stuff. John Michael Higgins, he's done a lot of different side character roles as well in numerous comedies. But it's just nice to see Kelly Rowland in a film, and also Priya Ferguson in something outside of Stranger Things, and to see her kind of like getting her feet wet into more stuff, because I do like seeing more of those younger actors getting more and more roles outside of that, so they're not strictly known for just Stranger Things. What they don't want is they don't want to be fully attached to Stranger Things for the rest of their life. Probably the biggest one out of all of them is Millie Bobby Brown, and she's making a great name for herself. But seeing more of them is also great. And also seeing Marlon Wayans again just feels great. He doesn't have much to do with the story, but he is a producer on this film, which is weird because I feel like this is something that he would sort of write. And, at his age, at his level in his career, it's nice to see him taking on, more dad roles, I guess you can say. You don't really want to see things like, what was the last film I remember seeing with him? I think it was something where he was dressing up again as multiple characters, sextuplets. Yeah, nobody wants that version of Marlon Wayans. I also don't want any more parodies. I feel like the parody concept has kind of died. I know we had the two Haunted House films, which were really funny, a Haunted House and a Haunted House 2. Again, parodies that were kind of meant to be like what the Scary Movie films were. But of course, they lost the rights to the Scary Movie films back in 2001, 2002. And then we'll also never get films that were going to be as good as things like, White Chicks or Requiem for a Dream or anything like that. But I also don't want him taking up things like 50 Shades of Black again. I'd rather him be doing this and taking on some kind of role like what this show is kind of doing. I know he had his own sitcom too, and I don't believe that's still going. I think it only lasted for 2 seasons, if I'm correct. Hold on, let me get the Wikipedia right here. Yeah, it was called Marlon. It was 2 seasons, pinned as an NBC original, but then I think Netflix was meant to pick it up, never did. Ran from 2017 to 2018, 20 episodes. Yeah, so he's still going strong, still trying to like keep himself afloat, keep it where the Wayans are still going strong. I think he's the only one of the entire crew that is actually still doing things. I haven't seen Sean or Keenan or even Damon do anything. I think the last thing I saw Damon do was when he tried to do the Lethal Weapon television series. But I think after they replaced the dude who was playing, the dude who was portraying, he plays Riggs. So no, he plays Murtaugh. So Riggs. They were replacing the character who was taking up the mantle of Riggs, who originally was played by Mel Gibson. They replaced him with a different actor, and the show kind of went downhill from there. So I haven't seen much from Damon in a long time. So seeing more from Marlon and seeing Marlon still out there and doing stuff, especially when it comes to comedies, is really nice. And I would really like to see more from Marlon. I don't know if a sequel to this movie is necessary, but I would like to see him do more comedies like this, more dad comedies. I think he fits that role great. Even if it is following this family. Like, I know they made jokes about wait till you see this town around Christmas. I don't mind the idea of a Christmas version following that family. I think that would be a lot of fun because I think those 3 characters played really well together. Marlon, Priya, and Kelly Rowland. I think they were a really nice family unit. They played it off very well. And this is, again, just a fun Halloween movie. It's fun to watch, I digressed a little bit into, Marlon Wayans and my love for that. But that's essentially why I really wanted to do this entry and drift away from horror and scary related things. Because, I love Marlon Wayans. I thought this was really cute, and I think it's worth it for Halloween.